Well, I guess the way I look at it is, I liked what the energy minister had to say. The Saudi energy minister had to say this morning. You've got to live in the real world, not on computer models. And he actually challenged the group to find a single time that the IEA has had a single projection that has been correct. So I think it takes a leap of faith to think that if they've never been correct, that they will be correct by 2050. We've got to respond to the world as it is, and I think he also was being quite responsible in saying that's part of the reason why they already did a production cut, is that there were predictions last year about how China was just going to race ahead once the COVID restrictions were lifted. Well, it turned out not to be the case. And his advice was, you take a measure of prudence so that you don't end up creating disruption and instability in the markets, and then you can always increase. And so I think that that kind of approach actually is a lot more practical than trying to rely on predictions from what has become increasingly, unfortunately, a political activist organization. I would say one of the things I'm encouraged by is the same thing that the Saudi energy minister is encouraged by, all the ways in which you can use the product for different ends. I mean, they're talking about right now having 2 million barrels a day being used for alternative products, including lubricants, petrochemicals, and construction materials. And they're anticipating that's a double. So they're anticipating that as the amount of gasoline and diesel demand declines, they'll just replace that with non-combustion uses of their product. And we should be taking the same attitude as well. If we can use natural gas and oil to be able to create construction materials, harder cement, replacement for rebar, why wouldn't we do that? That's how I'm looking at it, is that we're not going to phase out production of oil and natural gas. We're just going to change the way in which we use it. In our province, hydrogen is very likely going to be an increasingly important fuel that comes from natural gas as its base. Carbon capture, utilization, and storage will be able to assist in that development, and that's where I think we're going to end up going here. Hydrogen is also possible to be used for power plants. I think that's going to be a positive use also. And when you look at the supply for asphalt, I mean, I've seen some projections that we have the potential to increase our bitumen for use as asphalt up to 5 million barrels per day. So whether you're driving a combustion engine vehicle or a hydrogen combustion engine vehicle or a fuel cell vehicle or an EV, you're going to need roads to drive on. So those are the things that I'm looking at, is I don't think that the need for our products is going to diminish. I just think it's going to change.